I used to live on a street called Oak Valley that was not situated in a valley, nor did it have any oaks. Such a disappointment. Thankfully, the street named Sycamore in the city of Hercules, California does not disappoint. Granted, that wasn't a sycamore behind the sign, it's a southern magnolia tree, but that's on a different street. It's actually kind of interesting because one side is planted with all magnolia trees and the other side is all sycamores. I'm sure there's a reason for that, but anyway, that's something else to discover. Now, here's the actual sycamore lined street. Now, these are native California trees, and because they can grow up to 30 feet in 5 years and they give great shade, you'll see them purposely planted like this in parks. Their roots extend deep downward instead of laterally, so they plant pretty well next to each other. And as long as there's water nearby, they're good. And that's because historically, they grew in alluvial floodplains. They would grow deep in the nutrient rich soil deposits that came from seasonal runoffs along areas just like this. But with most of their habitat being undergrounded, diverted, culverted, they're mostly a hardy landscape tree now. That's a shame because sycamores can grow up to be 100 feet tall with 5-foot trunks. And they can also grow twisted and curled and whimsical. And that's only found in a few places in California now. So how do you know if you're looking at a sycamore? Well, they have these giant soft leaves that can kind of look like dinosaur footprints. The Ohlone people would wrap their acorn bread dough in the leaves and use that as a vessel for cooking. Here's one on the ground with my hand for comparison. The leaves can be 10 inches long and 12 inches wide. Here's one still growing on the tree. High five! Thanks for the oxygen. And take a look at the bark. It's like puzzle pieces. Like a snake sheds its skin as it grows, so does a sycamore do with its bark. Scientists aren't entirely sure why, though. Some theories are that it helps repel pests, and even that the new bark underneath can photosynthesize, which seems pretty cool. Eventually, it produces these tiny flowers, and those give way to fuzzy seed balls. When the wind blows around, the seeds get dispersed, and then, of course, we all start sneezing. Now, if there's an emergency situation, sycamores do have a drinkable sap. You could make syrup from that sap, but the water to sugar ratio makes it drinkable makes it undesirable for syrup. And also those broad soft leaves have helped out a few hikers in a nature potty situation. And of course, these trees provide habitat for many species of animals like this caterpillar that will turn into a swallowtail butterfly. Okay, todos, follow me outside.